He's got clout, 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 clout.
Here we are. It's the beginning of another great day. A sunny summer day. It's the best day for you know what. I'm going to read you a quote from Norm Macdonald. And he says this: the idiot sees the world as good versus evil. The cynic sees the world as evil versus evil. The truth that no one seems to be able to see is that the world is, and always has been, a battle of good versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Wow. This is actually really profound. This is the
Kicking off soon, folks.
There are not two sides in which one is good and one is evil. There are two sides in which one feels that it is good and it believes, incorrectly, that the other one is evil. But both sides are pretty sure that their version of the world is the good one. Wow. The world is, and always has been, a battle of good versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Wow. 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 Wow.
I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Wednesday, happy days. It's just one of those happy days.
Sign me up. Saturday, everybody.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is
Hey.
life sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet,
Just knock it off, you scum bucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those happy days. It's just one of those happy days. It's just one of those happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle runs, ready to escape. It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train.
Saturday, it's happening in Detroit. You're feeling okay, we're with you, Detroit. No holding back now, on the right track now. Stand up and tell them you're from Detroit. We build it better, right here in Detroit. Working together, we're making it in Detroit. It's time to shout it, no doubt about it. Stand up and tell them you're from Detroit. You've got the spirit, tell them you're from Detroit. Come on, let's hear it, tell them you're from Detroit. We're a team that's hometown, there's no town like Motown. You're at the heart of it, Seven's a part of it. Stand up and tell them you're from Detroit.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Sign Me Up Saturday. I'm your host, as always, the referee, representing CFL Newsroom, TSL Newsroom, and XFL Newsroom, the number one source in alternative football news. You know where we're at. I don't even know how to talk anymore. That's how long it's been since we've done one of these live streams. We got a little bit of a new setup. We're having a few technical hitches, but what would one of these streams be without a few problems? We have a whole new camera here, but you know what? XSplit had a mind of its own today. It said, you know what? I want to give you some low frame rate on that bad boy. So we're sticking with the webcam, but one of these days, we're evolving now. We're going to be doing some more streams, and we're having a good time. So what's the deal today? We're going to be talking about some news. We're going to be going over CFL, XFL. What's going on with the discussions there? We're looking at the spring league, right? Week 4. We're halfway through week 4. We're over halfway through the season. We got a couple games kicking off later this afternoon. So we're going to look at that as well. Plus, we have a major website announcement. So it's not news that you guys are looking for, but it is major news for the whole XFL newsroom crew, TSL newsroom, CFL newsroom. So we'll get to that a little bit later here. Hope everybody's doing well. Sign everybody up in the chat. Let me know if the audio is garbage, because that's the big one here. I don't know. We're testing. We're going with it on the fly. We're testing it out. It seems, I might be peaking a little bit, but that's probably just because my voice, I have a monster voice. You guys probably know that by now. I am a loud mouth. But that's what we do here down in Houston. And I'm originally from Detroit, right? You could take the boy out of Detroit, but you can't take the Detroit out of my boy, if you know what I mean, my man. So let's get into some news. We'll get to that announcement, the site announcement here. We'll probably sprinkle that in maybe a little bit into this, but let's, and I hope you like these stingers here. Look at that. Look at that. That is fancy as all heck. So what is the situation? What's going on with the CFL, the XFL? We're going to move the camera here. Get me into view just a little bit better. Just a little bit better. And again, hopefully the audio isn't garbage. Hopefully you can hear me. That's the big one. We're just going to roll with it. Roll with it. We roll with this for an hour with no audio. Shame on me. But sign us up anyway. It's Saturday, and we have the unofficial sponsor of Sign Me Up Saturday in the house. It's Bud 30, my friend. Bud Light, sign me up. It's Memorial Weekend. I mean, if the audio sounds as good as it does in my headphones, this is probably the best audio we've ever had on one of these streams. I mean, we're going to find out. I do have the fan going, so that might be an issue. But again, we are going to find out. roll with it. Like Bill O'Reilly said, F it, we're going live. We're doing it live. Sign us up. So, as you probably know, there's not been a lot of news since we heard the major announcement last March that the CFL and the XFL were officially announcing that they were talking about creating some type of partnership. Since then, the rumors have gone wild. The fights have started north and south of the border. And I mean, we've probably been hit with a little bit of shrapnel along the way, but it wouldn't be fun if we weren't. And we're still having a good time. I don't take it. I don't get angry about anything. Life is too short to be mad. Life is too short to be sad. But it ain't too short to be glad and happy, my friend. Sign us up. So, where are we at? Well, we're not much further than we were before. But we do have at least some confirmation that things are in movement, right? Things are in progress here. So XFL co-owner Danny Garcia, former wife of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and a business person in her own right? These two, they're not just business partners because they were married. They're business partners because they're both good at what they do. So, she took to Instagram earlier this week to give us a little bit, kind of an update. But we're going to look into it, and I'll give you my opinion on what I think that means. So she went on Instagram and posted, when you're working on innovation for the XFL, but the NDA is so deep, the only thing you can show is the art in the women's bathroom. And we have this fancy picture. Now, I would love to have this picture in my bathroom as well. The only thing I might do is maybe put a little caricature, paste a picture of my face there, just because I think it would be funny. But I'm a weirdo. I'm a weird guy. You probably figured that out by now. So yeah, this isn't really much news, but it is a tease. And if we look back at the way that Danny Garcia has teased the announcements in the past, this makes me believe that we might be getting some news soon. I don't know what that is, but I feel like we're going to get some type of news here in the next month or two. Again, looking back prior to the announcement from the CFL and the XFL, we saw a flurry of teasers from Danny Garcia on Instagram posting a gray coffee mug, only for it to turn out to be a CFL coffee mug, right? And I feel like this is very similar. We're going to get some news here. Again, what is it? We don't know. Let's even talk about what is the potential situation with the CFL and XFL. I mean, if you look at the rumor mill, and there's a lot of them, it ranges from everywhere to just being slight partners to a full-on merger. Now, if they go the route of a full-on merger, I don't know if we're going to see that right away. And even if they do a smaller partnership in the beginning, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're not going to see a merger in the future, right? So, one of the things I could see happening is they take on different business elements for each of the companies. I think Mike Mitchell was talking about this earlier this week as well. But yeah, I could absolutely see something where the XFL handles the social media for both of the companies, where the CFL handles maybe some of the business side, maybe hiring, maybe player trading. But I mean, we're getting there. We're not going to see anything. When we're looking at where we are right now compared to where the XFL was in 2019 in the lead up to the 2020 season, I mean, we're pretty far behind where they were then. We knew all the coaches. I mean, we know all the locations. The one thing that the XFL has going for them now is there's definitely less work that needs to be done, right? When you look at the team identities, locations, logos, and at least most of the cases, the Houston Roughnecks, rough them up. They're having a little bit of a battle there with the Patriots and the Astros from Major League Baseball. So we might see some changes there on their main and alternative logos. But, I mean, for the most part, all of that's taken care of for the rest of the teams. We do still have some of the leases in play, not all of them. But, I mean, that's not too hard to solve for. The biggest one to me is the coaches, the executives, and obviously the players. What I would hate to see happen is the XFL tries to rush to get on the field for 2022 and run into a situation that we saw with the AAF, the Alliance of American Football. We're going to talk about them a little bit later in this video here, in this stream. This Sign Me Up Saturday returning. And real quick, before we move on, I didn't even realize this until right before I streamed this today. Sign Me Up Saturday kicked off Memorial Weekend last year. So it's a year anniversary of all of our Saturdays getting signed up, at least the ones that I decided to show up on the internet. But we're here. We're back. We have new stuff to play around with. And you know what? I'm probably going to be doing more streams, not just Sign Me Up Saturdays. I love Sign Me Up Saturday because it's Saturday. It's one of my favorite days of the week, other than Monday. Monday is my favorite day of the week. But Saturday is probably a very close second. But we're probably going to be doing maybe some late night streams, looking at random stuff. We're going to look at some random things a little bit later in this video as well. But look forward to that. I don't know if we'll keep it on this channel, if we'll split it off into its own channel. I mean, we'll sort that as we figure that out. We're having fun. The answer is always yes. Sign us up. So, what does this mean? Nobody really knows. What do I think it means? I think we're going to get some news soon. I don't know if that's a month, 2 months, or 3 months, but I would say within 3 months, we're probably going to get some news. Now, if we start seeing more of these teaser posts from Miss Garcia, I mean, that's almost a for sure sign that news is absolutely coming. I mean, somewhere, sometime news is coming. When you look at the real deal, the real situation, you don't buy a football team for no reason. Danny Garcia, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and the one that most people don't even think about or talk about, Redbird Capital. People say, oh, the XFL, it sold for only $15 million. I don't have $15 million. And even if I had $15 million, I don't know if I would just buy a league just to own it. If I was going to buy a league, it would be to boot that bad boy up and make some money. So I don't know about y'all. I don't know. And, I have the ref shirt here. It's just a little warm. We're out in Houston, the newsroom HQ. It's a little muggy outside. So we're going over the shoulder today. We're going over to the shoulder. And check out this hat. I don't know if we had these hats the last time we were streaming, but check it out. shop.xflnewsroom.com. And you can get hats, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, all sorts of good stuff. I think we got some stickers on there. We also have a CFL Newsroom tee. Probably going to get a TSL Newsroom tee. And we're going to have some new stuff coming soon based on the news that we're going to show you. Actually, you know what? Let's just jump into that. So, as you guys have probably noticed, since the XFL's been on a little bit of a hiatus, we've started branching out just a little bit. So one of the things that we added to our site, I don't know, maybe about a month and a half ago, was options to see news specific to each of these leagues, at least in an easy manner. You could always do it before, but it wasn't just kind of out there in the open. So the cool thing is here, if you hover over news, you can look at the CFL news. You can go to the fan-controlled football news, Spring League, XFL, and even arena football. We might expand this depending on, how things go. But just to add on to that, if you go to XFL Newsroom, you're getting to the homepage. If you go to CFL Newsroom, you're getting right to the CFL news. If you go to TSL Newsroom, you're getting right to the TSL news. If you go